Hey guys, it's me, Clothshack, Canada's most famous distributor of Invader Zim. So Fandom is a website that acts as a free-to-use wiki host. If you don't know what a wiki is, very basically it is an online database that allows anyone to publish and edit pages on it, most often pertaining to information about a specific area of interest. Some notable examples of a wiki include Wikipedia, an online encyclopedia that basically just has the sum of all human knowledge, TV Tropes, which is a bunch of nerd shit, Uncyclopedia, which is a satire of Wikipedia made up of sarcastic joke articles, and of course, Conservapedia. Not even gonna bother with that one. The fandom website itself is not a wiki. Instead, it hosts a huge amount of smaller wikis, and unlike Wikipedia, is entirely for-profit and mostly paid for by ad space. So much ad space. Watch this, I'm gonna go on without an ad blocker. Look at this. What the fuck? It follows you down the page. It's like this on every single page as well, like, you get this giant one at the top, or whatever the fuck, and then you get this, Lad Bible Australia, and a movie trailer. Jesus. Fandom allows anyone to make a full wiki for any topic they'd like. Fallout, World of Warcraft, Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, whatever. One of these wikis, created around May of 2006, is the Villains Wiki, a comprehensive encyclopedia of all the villains of fiction. The Villains Wiki was founded by this guy, Frozen Flame, who only has 20 edits despite being the actual creator. One of those being the creation of the very first page, fittingly being the devil. Nearly 20 years and over 80,000 pages later, the Villains Wiki would be stumbled upon by a 13-year-old Clothshack, who instantly fell in love with it, unknowingly beginning his journey to get banned about 2 years later for something he didn't even do on the Villains Wiki himself, but on a different Villains Wiki, the Villains Fanon Wiki, which is all about OCs and fanfiction and whatever else villains. Does that sound cringe as fuck? That's because it is. Every Villains Wiki page is structured in a similar way. Their most notable quotes, a brief introduction and overview, subsections relating to their appearance, history, personality, abilities, quotes, and trivia. Some pages include more, some less. On the right of the page is the info box, which lists quick information such as their name, aliases, what they're from, their occupations, their powers and skills, their goals, their crimes, and finally their type, which is discerned from their two most prominent categories combined together. Now, I think the idea of the Villains Wiki is perfect. However, there is one tiny little thing wrong with it that has completely ruined it and will ruin it forever and ever until they do away with it. Pure evil. Pure evil is a special category of villains who fit a certain criteria. They commit among the worst crimes in their story, their crimes are shown on screen, or if not, the effects of it are shown on screen. They need to use all their resources to be as evil as possible without holding back. They have to have a defined personality and motives and aren't just mindless destroyers with no thoughts of their own other than to destroy. They're taken seriously by the characters, they have the agency to do things other than evil, yet choose to do evil. They're never shown in a positive light. They don't show any real care for anyone that doesn't have an ulterior motive or twisted obsession behind it. They do not get redeemed or have any excuse for their actions, and they have no remorse for anything they do. There are other rules, of course, such as how groups cannot be pure evil because they're a concept rather than a person, although tiny groups like 2 or 3 people can count if they're shown to have similar personalities and commit the same crimes together. And they have to pass the imaginary heinous standard, which is basically just, are they as bad / worse than any other character in the story? Pure evil has irreparably destroyed the Villains Wiki forever and ever, because you need to propose characters to be added to this category by the admins, and to propose a villain you need to be on the whitelist, and to get on the whitelist you need to have over 500 edits and 6 months of activity, and then maybe, probably not get added to the whitelist after forever and ever of waiting. Do I sound like I'm mad because I wasn't whitelisted? Well, that's because I was. I met both criteria ages ago, and then never got whitelisted despite being a pretty active member of the community. and not breaking any rules. Still haven't broken any rules, they banned me for something else, we'll get into that later. This leads to people doing arbitrary edits to pages to inflate their edit count in the hopes of maybe getting whitelisted. How do I know this? Because this is what I did as well. All I wanted was to propose a single character from a shitty mobile game and a character from Pink Floyd's The Wall movie, and then be done. This is called Badge of Honor, where you treat pure evil like some special status that only cool villains can get, when it's just an arbitrary category with a special lock on the page. Anyway, the Villains Wiki isn't the point of this video. The point of this video is what I mentioned earlier, and it's also in the title of this video. The Villains Fanon Wiki. God help us all. The Villains Fanon Wiki is where good writing goes to die. Don't ask how I know this. Villains Fanon Wiki is the internet's premier hub for Sonic.exe fanfiction. Do you know who Sark is? You fucking do now. Look at those hobbies. Basically, the VFW, as we'll be calling it from now on because Villains Fanon Wiki is a mouthful, is for all the villains that aren't from legitimate sources like published books, released movies, or other big stuff like that. It's primarily for fanfiction, hence the title Fanon Wiki, and more obscure indie works, but you can also add OCs. Again, don't ask me how I know this, not to brag, but I believe that the period of time that I was a member during was the best period of time that we'll ever see. Not only because I'm just amazing, but it also seems so lively and full of activity, unlike today where they're lucky if anyone bothers to vote for a headline villain. Seriously, during my tenure, the headline villains were classics, like the fucking Trollface, Photo Negative Mickey from Five Nights at Treasure Island, the Detective from Emesis Blue, Mario from SMG4, all classic fandom villains. Now who do they have? Fucking... who the hell is Chikage Tachibana? Godzilla from The Ultimate Showdown by Lemon Demon? Who is Airy? Also, we can't talk about the VFW without discussing the fucking mountain of moral scalings they have. There are separate wikis upon separate wikis for these, but they're all on the VFW too. We of course have Near Pure Evil, for villains who almost get there but aren't quite, Inconsistently Heinous, which is, yeah, whatever, Villainous Benchmark, oh, and of course Hate Sinks, and Magnificent Baddies. Insert clip of Stolas shooting himself in the head. Look, this is all a waste of time and just contributes to the bigger problem of Badge of Honor. Did I mention the VFW has their own version of Pure Evil called Complete Monster? Ripped from TV tropes? This one is even worse for Badge of Honor than the Villains Wiki, because with the VFW, you can make your own characters. I think you can connect the dots there. How do I know this? Stop asking! Okay, yes, I, Jack Clothshack Variety, wrote my own OC universe and added them to the Villains Fanon Wiki. Yes, they were really edgy and poorly written. Yes, I made them exclusively so I could get some of them to have Complete Monster. Yes, I was 14. I am saying this so that the current, cartel bosses of the VFW do not subsequently post about all the dumb shit that I did in order to discredit me. Yes, I was extremely edgy, made a lot of poor taste jokes about things. Yes, I did obsess over edgy movies like a Serbian film and Cannibal Holocaust, I still do on that ladder. Yes, I was annoying, and yes, I ripped HTML code from someone else's user page for my own, because I couldn't figure out how to do it myself. Yes, I am Fax McGee, that's me in the photo. Okay, I think that's all the ammunition stripped from their arsenal. Anyway, Powermonger 2003 is a bit of a bitch. Brandon Dark 147. Or Powermonger 2003, is a former turned once again current administrator for the VFW. Don't ask why there's a former there. Oh, it's because he was racist and homophobic and a power tripper and got outed but then came back after less than a year and rose through the ranks again. Nepotism. I have no evidence for him being a racist homophobe because I'm banned from the Discord and I can't use an alt because it requires a fandom account with a bit of activity on the wiki to be linked. But you can take my word for it, he used a Tupperbox proxy of one of his extremely edgy OCs to say the hard R N-word over and over again, as well as the F-slur over and over again. I'm not going to sit here and clutch my pearls like I haven't done that before on Discord either, because I have. But I did not do it while role-playing as one of my hyper-edgy OCs on the public Discord server that I own. so he got deposed and Itajiro took over his place. Itajiro would then later get removed from his position as well, except it was because he said the N-word in a private group chat that was leaked by one of the members, not on the actual server itself, because the Villains Fanon Wiki community had decided to remove complete monster status from all Friday Night Funkin' villains who had it. Yes, really, that's why he said it. Look, it's not my place to criticize, I've been 100 times cringier. Speaking of cringe, let's look at some iconic Villains Fanon Wiki pages, all of which need to be handled with extreme caution due to the obscene levels of cringe radiating off of them. Necrozoff, created by Brandon Dark147/PowerMonga 2003, is the ruler of the destructive and chaotic Prime Omegas and the multiversal realms of Oblivion. He is a sadistic, oppressive, and power-hungry overlord who seeks the complete destruction of all life that resides in the Omniverse in his insane quest to reshape all worlds in his twisted image where chaos reigns supreme. Hobbies: causing mass destruction and chaos, destroying civilizations, killing civilians, conquering or destroying other dimensions, torturing his minions, stealing and tormenting souls, orchestrating events from behind the shadows. Just a fucking huge scroll box of crimes. Kill count incalculable. Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm Jimmy A. Janissi, and today we're looking at the Armored Studios franchise. Our first kill is, of course, the writing, which was dead on arrival. Look at this quote. "Thank you, reality, for making me into the monster that I always wanted to be." Not only is it for making me, Brandon, but it's so obviously complete monster bait it almost hurts to read. Now, of course, you need to propose characters for Complete Monster, so who proposed Necrozoff? Why, PowerMonga 2003, of course! Now, he will try to use the excuse that it's for a whole series he made called Multiversal Legends, and this is bullshit, of course, because the Necrozoff page predates the Multiversal Legends wiki by an entire month. PowerMonga 2003 has also created a bunch of shitty, edgy OCs and had them approved as Complete Monster as well, including Niklovich, Zariah Darkmaster, and Vekasul. I can't get over Zariah Darkmaster's artwork. This sucks. All these characters are equally as edgy and shit as Necrozoff. Moving on, we have God damn it. Lieutenant Obsidian. I can't do this anymore.
Lieutenant Obsidian is the main antagonist of the Incopolis Chaos trilogy. She serves as the unseen overarching antagonist of Incopolis Chaos 1 and 2, and the main antagonist of Incopolis Chaos 3. She's the new leader of the Actarians, who has a deep hatred for Inklings and wishes to wipe them out for good, along with all the Octolings that joined them.
Get a load of this quote.
"Welcome to my bomb station. Your friends couldn't sabotage this one properly. It will still detonate in a few minutes. I mean, when I kill you right now, I'll reboot the bombs and launch them anyway. So you're just dying like idiots. For what? Peace? Not possible between our races. Inklings and Octolings were born to fight. Now follow your genes. And that goes for all of you brainwashed by the incantation. You are meant to be squid killers, and you Inklings are just disgusting filth."
So yes, Splatoon Hitler. Fuck you. Of course, we can't talk about iconic VFW pages without mentioning Mayor Leonardo Lionheart from the Zootopia Powerverse. Back in the day, this quote was riffed on so fucking hard you have no idea.
"Oh Judy, how nice to see you. Unfortunately, I've only framed Belweather in order to silence every vote which is against me. Vladimir worked as a double agent. Oh boy, he put that sheep back into its farm. Belweather wanted to find a cure, and meanwhile, he was just working for me."
huxren 123 has some banger pages. Look at these images, bro. Screet is the main antagonist of the 2025 Marvel fan film universe fan-made feature and presentation Adam and Eve. Just look at these images, dude. They're so amazing. They're just... Guess who they're supposed to be? Guess who these characters are supposed to be? Bradley Howard was a user that made some funny stuff and some not so funny stuff. You know Jafar from the classic Disney movie Aladdin 4, Jafar Made Need Glasses? Well, I may be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that Bradley Howard made a fanfic that included Jafar being the cause behind a former Villains Fanon Wiki user's real-life suicide. Yes, really, he's that tasteless. Obviously, that was just disgusting and extremely uncool, and that got him banned, and he started going off about blowing up his school because he got banned. I don't have any evidence for this, obviously, because, yeah. But if you ask anyone who was around in the VFW Discord at that time, they will back it up. We didn't have the word crash out back then, but we have it now, so he crashed out. This video is going off the fucking rails. Anyway, I'm sure you have a burning question right now, and that's Clothshack. Why were you banned? Well, the official reason as to why I was banned was, overall a problematic user from using real-life villains as aliases and being toxic/spiteful. Not only is that a grammatical nightmare, like most of the stuff Crystallic Wolf 108 writes, knee slap, but it's also just wrong. I was not a problematic user, in heavy quotations. I made the same jokes that everyone else did, just to a slightly more elevated degree. Using real-life villains as aliases refers to how on my personal user page, I had an info box which listed my aliases as just a bunch of real-life bad guys like Hitler, Stalin, Pol Pot, Genghis Khan, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, etc. Not only is this just a reference to the DC villain Vandal Savage being Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, Jack the Ripper, and Vlad the Impaler, but it also just didn't happen on the Villains Fanon Wiki. This was in my info box for my profile on the regular Villains Wiki. Now the actual reason as to why I was banned from the Villains Fanon Wiki is because I criticized Alistair from Hasman Hotel, and Powermonger 2003 didn't like that. So he came up with a bunch of bullshit and rallied other members against me to get me banned. The reason why I'm banned on the Villains Wiki is because all these wikis are run by the same group of people. Seriously, you can look at all the bureaucrats, administrators, and moderators for all of these wikis, and they will be guaranteed to have at least one or two people in common. This is a cartel. This is actually a cartel. Breaking news, this just in. Images unearthed of Brandon Dark 147 / Powermonger 2003 crashing out because he got rightfully called out for kicking someone who had a different opinion than him. This is what happened to get him deposed. Oops. We can't talk about the Villains Fanon Wiki without looking at these blog posts, because these are a goldmine if you want to make fun of 12-year-old kids.
I have a question. Why deleted Coronation Day Peach's page?
Leonardas Tolsos Sanodos Metaconsuelity, or also known as S or God as he mockingly self-proclaims himself, is an evil, sadistic, demonic entity who plays games who are absolutely rigged to him to win, and plus he murders his victims brutally and steal their souls of people and house their souls in the Teenage Mutant Ninja franchise characters, while also to grow an obsession with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise and humanity, and uses Leonardo the vessel, of course, while having Sonic EXE as the ruler, as his ruler of his dimension, supreme leader of the cult of S, powered slow spark massive physiology, now omnipotence, reality, manipulation, virtual immortality, manifestation, extra dimensional existence, black hole like mouth.
What about Villain Ideas Wiki? Check it out now. Here, $D.
Would you consider Boy What? Plankton an MB? Okay guys, Lulu's page is coming back tomorrow.
Here's my dark, twisted horror version of Red Chuck J. Steve in what? Fuck. The Villains Fanon Wiki Chronicles is a collaborative, metafictional whatever the fuck about VFW users personifying themselves as villains and also adding whatever else. It's dumb. Mega Jack Horner. The VP What the fuck is this? Every Phantom CM parrot. Hey, this stole my character. That's my car! Zorthenport. Fuck you. Hey, what happens when you have a community made up mostly of minors, but also adults, who all love to share their shitty OCs and love SMG4, Hasbin Hotel, Friday Night Funkin', and Sonic.exe? Oops. Look at this ban message. Capitano Knox, banned for sharing porn with minors. This sounds like fucked up Diddy pedophile shit, right? Well, actually what happened was, Capitano Nox posted a sort of risque image of some jester girl to the Discord server's Smash or Pass channel, and since these people have the mental capacity of a fucking jellyfish, that obviously means he shared porn with minors. Insert image of Darkseid holding Superman's cape. What do you mean there's a Smash or Pass channel in this Discord server with majority minors? Now I haven't been in the server for over 2 years, but when I was there was a Smash or Pass channel. The rules were no characters under 18 and no characters who'd committed sex crimes. So no under 18 characters, but minors are allowed to access the channel. Fuck you. So we all know that the quality control on the VFW is just horrendous, right? Well, while I was in contact with Jiro, he brought to my attention that the quality control on the other moral scaling wikis is also just fucking dog shit. So we're going to take a moment to divert this smoking wreck of a video towards another direction. This is the Pure Evil wiki. It's all about the pure evils. Obviously. Well, this article about Ghost Godzilla from the unmade Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla just contains made up bullshit. Like, not just bad formatting or poorly worded sentences, it just contains actual lies. And yes, I said unmade. There's an entire different wiki for unpublished villains, because we needed another one. Anyway, I'm not a kaiju fan, I'm a tokusatsu fan, so Itajira articulated why this article is just wrong. Basically, it just contains a bunch of made-up villainous acts to make Ghost Godzilla seem worse. Not only is this just shit, but it's also incredibly lazy, because you can read the translated pictures that this character was drawn from online for free, because there are only 2 of them, and one of them is 3 pages long, the other is like 8. The person who made this page just didn't fucking read these tiny little stories that are about the character they are proposing for Pure Evil. Anyway, what's the moral of this story, you may ask? Well, there is no moral. Some stories are just dumb and cringe, and that's the moral.